Welcome to Lit with Ernest, the show where we cut through the noise and get to the heart of what makes great literature tick. Today, we're talking about Don DeLillo, a writer who's been called the chief cartographer of American chaos. If you're new to DeLillo, you might wonder why his work matters. Let me tell you, his novels are like a mirror held up to our times, reflecting the chaos, disinformation, and technological overload that surrounds us. Born in 1936, Don DeLillo grew up in an Italian-American family in the Bronx, New York. His childhood was marked by a strong sense of community and tradition, which would later influence his writing about American identity and culture. DeLillo's early life was also shaped by his love of baseball, jazz, and movies, interests that would find their way into his fiction. DeLillo's educational journey took him to Fordham University, where he studied communication arts and began to develop his writing skills. After college, he worked in advertising, which might seem like an unlikely starting point for a literary career. However, DeLillo has said that his experience in advertising taught him about the power of language and the ways in which it can shape our perceptions of reality. DeLillo's first novel, Americana, was published in 1971, but it was his 1985 novel White Noise that brought him widespread critical acclaim. This postmodern masterpiece is a satire of American consumer culture, exploring themes of identity, media saturation, and the search for meaning in a hyper-consumerist society. The novel's protagonist, Jack Gladney, is a professor of Hitler studies who becomes embroiled in a series of bizarre events that challenge his sense of self and reality. Throughout his career, DeLillo has been drawn to themes of politics, history, and technology. His novels often explore the ways in which these forces shape our lives and our understanding of the world. In Underworld, for example, DeLillo creates a sweeping narrative that spans several decades of American history, from the 1950s to the 1980s. The novel is a kind of epic poem, weaving together fragments of culture, politics, and personal experience to create a rich tapestry of American life. DeLillo's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He's been praised for his innovative style, which blends elements of postmodernism, realism, and social critique. At the same time, some critics have accused him of being overly cerebral or detached from the emotional lives of his characters. However, I'd argue that DeLillo's writing is not about providing easy answers or sentimental comforts. It's about confronting the difficulties and mysteries of human experience head-on. One of the key contributions DeLillo has made to literature is his exploration of the impact of technology on human relationships. In novels like Cosmopolis and Zero K, he examines the ways in which technology is changing our sense of self, our connections with others, and our understanding of the world. These novels are like prophecies, warning us about the dangers of a world in which we're increasingly mediated by screens and machines. DeLillo's work has also had a significant influence on contemporary literature. Writers like Thomas Pynchon, David Foster Wallace, and Jennifer Egan have all been influenced by his innovative style and his willingness to experiment with form and language. DeLillo's novels have also been adapted into films, plays, and other forms of media, introducing his work to new audiences and cementing his reputation as a major literary figure. So, what can we learn from Don DeLillo's work today? For one, his novels offer a unique lens on the contemporary world, helping us make sense of the chaos and disinformation that surrounds us. His writing also encourages us to think critically about the media, politics, and technology that shape our lives. Take, for example, his novel Libra, which explores the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and the ways in which this event has been mythologized and distorted over time. DeLillo's human qualities are just as fascinating as his literary achievements. He's known for being private and introspective, preferring to keep a low profile in the literary world. However, those who have met him describe him as warm, witty, and deeply engaged with the world around him. Despite his reputation as a postmodernist, DeLillo is a writer who is deeply concerned with the human condition, with our struggles, our contradictions, and our capacity for both good and evil. That's all for today's Lit with Ernest. Like this episode if it hit true. Share it if you respect honest talk about books. Subscribe, because we'll do this again. This is Ernest, signing off.